Hey everybody, this is Jeremy Bertorioni. I'm recording this week's Lotus Box video for the MTG Arena side of our Patreon. So today I'm recording with this blue-green flash deck. I really like it in Standard. It's sort of a dark horse on a deck that a lot of people are talking about. But I think that it kind of has a good spot in the metagame, and not many people are like used to playing around it with the decks are playing right now. I think the worst thing that can happen is to Fairy, but that's not actually that bad. So, because you have like a lot of ways to interact with it, like you could Brainborn Cutthroat beforehand and have that working, and you have a Quench. That's why I'm playing these Wildborn Preservers. I'm playing 2 Wildborn Preservers. That's so that you can maybe have 2 creatures in response to them playing it to Fairy if you are on the play. There's also, of course, the Quenches, some Essence Captures, Sinister Sabotage. The Brazen Borrowers I found to be very strong. I'm playing 2 Uros, which is kind of experimental, but Uro's in a good version of this deck. Nightpack Ambushers, kind of your premier way to win. Also, Frilled Mystic is in this deck, and Thassa's Intervention is a 1-of. So, yeah, and then your basic green-blue. We are on the draw, which is not super lucky with this deck. You kind of want the on the playness, but that's fine. This hand is good. We have 2 tap lands, but we have 2 1-drops, so the tap land's like kind of fine. Keep it. Let's run the draw, and we have our 2 really powerful cards in Frilled Mystic and Nightpack Ambusher in our hand. So then not being mono red is a good first step for us to do well. Let's scry. Ooh, I would have done an untapped land, but I don't want to Thassa's Intervention. We gotta find some good cards that help us catch up from behind. So like Quench is a good example of one of those. You know, if they have a 2-drop, but then when they play their 3-drop and you quench it, you're like not in the worst spot. This is a cool forest. Alright, so I'm tempted to opt this turn and try to find a better land. Find a better land, then a little better for us. Like more of our lands come to play untapped. We might not be able to Spectral Sailor, which could be important. Why not though? This is like the Bant mid deck. Let's off main phase, try to find a better land so that all our lands can come into play untapped. Breeding Pool does it. Technically our 3rd land doesn't come into play untapped, but our 4th one does. Super important to us. Opponent, Surivi. I gotta research how to get these forests. These forests are sweet. Oh, they're a hexproof deck. Or not a hexproof, they're just Bogles. Okay, Vigilance gives us hexproof forever, so that's really strong. It's going to be tough to not die to this hexproof creature. I think that we want to go ahead and get a Brineborn into play, but I could be wrong about that. I think eventually we're going to be... Okay, here's what the play is. It's going to be at the beginning of their combat. We bounce their Sentinel's Eyes. That also seems kind of worse, huh? We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll bounce the Sentinel's Eyes. What that's going to do is cause them to probably not attack for fear of retribution. That effectively bought us a turn. We can get this into play tapped. Let's do an island. Our mana is perfect the way it is, so island is fine. Oh, this is intense. This bow deck looks pretty good. Definitely good against us. We can Frilled Mystic this. And then what are the odds that they can't do anything about that? Alternatively, sorry about that. The video did cut out for a little bit, but they managed to resolve these things, and we're super dead. We were kind of dead the whole time, so it's not that big a deal, but we are dead. Doing sideboarding, I think that the Aether Gust will be good. We can nab some of their enchantments. Don't really want anything else. All just seems kind of slow and bad. We got this one of Thassa's Intervention. And these, because they don't have to ferry. All right, and they're ready to go. We haven't opted to find more lands and a quench, so I kind of like this hand. Like, if we get there, we can quench their threat. And they have to keep lands and enchantments and threats. So if it's anything like Modern Bowls, a single removal spell of a threat can buy you a ton of time. And if it's anything unlike Modern Bogles, which it is, they don't have a 1-drop threat. That's a land, but it's tapped. Unfortunate. We're hoping to dodge a threat this turn. Did not. As long as they don't give it vigilance, we can still... Whoa. Gotta Aether Gust that. Super important that we hit our land drops here because we can't do anything about this except for having Nightpack Ambusher. There's our land drop. Good thing we hit it. Yep. Against any other card, our hand is pretty stacked, but shifting Ceratops is going to be an issue. Do we want to do anything about this? Yeah, I don't mind getting a cutthroat in play. This can't get vigilance, so. We can start racing them at their own game. The game is hitting us for lots of damage. Why do we have 3 extra life? Should have called. Oh, it's because our. Yep. We can't block, so we don't mind that thing having trample. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, so we need one more card before we get an Uro in play. Ideally, our opponent does absolutely nothing and we can peacefully resolve a Night Pack Ambusher and start making tokens. That rarely happens in Magic. Let's sabotage this and then hopefully be able to quench something. And then our Uro should be, ooh, what do you think? Graveyard? Can't really quench this. We can quench that though. Try to resolve an Uro. Don't need the land. We don't need any of these. We can't use cards in our graveyards in any capacity. Just exiling them. So they can attack us for 5 only, and we are pressing lethal. As long as the 2 cards in their hand are like not good, we have a good chance. Well, I would say that's the opposite of a not good card. Alright. Okay. We're conceding this match. I got a good impression for my deck, though. I think if it's not Green White Enchantments, we're in a good spot. I guess you guys want insights into what somebody who is on a team goes through in their testing. This is just a loose getting to know this deck. So a lot of the times you're going off of impressions and things of that nature. So I have a good impression of this deck. I think on the play with this Essence Capture, we're in a really good spot. This is a good stress test for this deck. We can't draw the 2 lands, then probably not the most well-built deck. Oh, good. I was worried it'd be a winnable matchup. Mono red. I think not attacking is better there. Wouldn't have mattered. Very nice. Need a green source, not another wolf. Okay, Wildborn Observer was kind of a nutty draw, so if they try to Torbran, which they will, we can Wildborn an Essence Capture, put the counter on Wildborn. Hello! Combo. Now we have the wolf, and if the wolf takes us home, then we win. Did we attack? I think not. It's fine. I think we're supposed to counter Annex. Oh, that card's good. But I want something that supplements the wolf a little better, so I'm gonna put it in the graveyard. Also, we're kind of digging towards our Uros. That's not a good sign. Means they probably have a shock. They had an Infuriate. Infuriate, you gotta play, keeps them honest. Alright, I love that draw. We're gonna try to ambush it. Excuse me, we're gonna try to ambush it with this Nightpack Ambusher, and they conceded. Okay. Truthfully, I thought that's how that game was gonna go. Once the Ambusher came, I was gonna win, but I shouldn't expect it to be so. Alright, so we won the Aether Gust. The 380 Singers are good, and the Lovestruck Beast. That was a lot of cards in, but we also want a lot of cards out. Thassa's Intervention doesn't do much. Frilled Mystic is pretty terrible. Don't love Spectral Sailors. And Sabotages, kind of bad. We're on the draw, so we'll cut a Quench. Is that right? How do I feel about this? Maybe the Borrower is terrible. I like some counter spells better than it. Oh, why don't someone just tell me how to sideboard against mono red? Right? Am I right? Only add a Lotus Box Patreon. I'll keep this one. Hate to shock, but it's kind of important to get this human into play so that we can block this Scorch Bitter. I'll block this all day. Fortunately, they will not be able to resolve a Torbran. Unfortunately for us, they will be able to resolve an Anax. Hardened in the Forge. I don't want to leave up Quench instead of Lovestruck Beasting. This is the same as last turn, but I just want to get a forest out of our deck. I'm game. See what's up. What do you got, opponent? Perfect, we can quench that. Anax gets eaten and our mono red opponent concedes. Well, I thought this was going to be an unlosable matchup, but post-board that actually felt really strong. Let's do one more match since that one was insanely short. Hey, look at all these rewards we get. Just for playing. What a program. Giving me rewards for playing. What a schmo! What a maroon! I talk. All the time. Stuff for people who live with me. Like Evan! You guys can't see Evan, but he's just off screen. Looking great. I playing a fun PC game, or working on Lotus Box stuff. Alright, we got our next opponent. They look like Liliana. Interesting. We look like... That's actually how you pronounce it, but nobody was ready to man up and admit it. This one's shady, but we'll keep it. We can find an untapped land, it's really good. Man, if we could just draw normal lands, they're just not in standard. It's all temples and castles. What is going on? We have Temple of Mystery, Castle of Antris in our hand, of course. I think Uro is really good in this deck. But we can't cast it right now. Alright. Untapped land, let's go. Bottom and not untapped land. They're on. Hump? Cat? It is the cat. No oven. Excellent. We'll opt to find another land, I think. That'll be fine, but not ideal. I'll say go. Of course, leaving up every card in our deck, potentially. Down to take these anemic beats. As long as they want to keep up the 1-1 beats, we're fine. Ghost Rider, we're going to be quenching. So let's get a forest. I'm not sure that was backbreaking for our opponent, but no. Wasn't that bad. Ooh, they found red. It's Kroxa. Well, Kroxa can resolve. I'm not going to be seeing a lot of Sailor play this turn. This game. Theoretically, we could block here with the Nightpack Ambusher. I'm trying to think of what the downside is. I can't. Nightpack Ambusher. Block. Block the boat, don't block the boat, baby. Song people sing. Fire Triton, nah, I can't attack. I want the wolf, so I'm not going to cast this Uro. They want to cast Ghost Rider, they're going to have to exile a lot of cool cards in their graveyard, so that'll be alright with me. They're claiming my wolf. Why? Okay. I'm not sure what's going on here. Turn now? Okay. Turn. We found another wolf, nice. Claiming my wolf again. Do they think that's going to help them win? It's super not.